guys. Well, I take you along on all the journeys, all the fun stuff, the track, the building the car. Today we're running into our first issue, I guess. Took the car out for a cruise this morning, got it nice and hot, was just coming back to lash the valves. So nothing was going on, didn't hear any valve train noise. But when I took off the driver's side valve cover to start lashing the valves, I noticed that number 7, what is it? It is the intake lifter. Rocker arm was off completely. Kind of started panicking a little bit, but it looks like it only broke the adjuster. This thing still has this cheap, not the best valve train for the power we're making, and Justin and Donnie have been saying they know the weak link of this car is definitely the valve train, and we're not even pushing that hard yet, and for this to break is pretty scary. Pulling the oil filter off right now, so I figured I'd grab the camera. We'll look in there. As you can tell, that metal went somewhere. It's not sitting on top of the head like I was hoping it would be. So went through the motor. So we'll pull this oil filter apart right now and see how bad it is. Hopefully the cam's okay. Like I said, the car wasn't making any noise, but who knows how long that lifter was riding on that cam with no load on it. So live and learn, I guess. We'll pull this filter apart and we'll see where we're at. Alright, cool thing about this car is it has this filter that just pops out, reusable. Thing's not cheap, but let's get a look at it. Definitely some flakes in here. Nothing big though. Yeah, boy. There's all the pieces. I'm gonna throw the bore scope on. I'm gonna throw the bore scope down that push rod hole here and see if we can see anything down there in the lifter. Alright, light on here. Alright, here's looking at the top of the lifter. Looks okay, a little shiny from the push rod bouncing on it, but the end of the push rod looks fine, so don't see anything crazy in there. Alright, so yesterday I ripped the thing all apart, cleaned that oil filter out. All the chunks were big. I'm 99% sure everything that was in that oil filter was from the adjuster. A little bit that's missing off the end of this. I put the push rod back on the lifter, bumped the motor over by hand. Push rod seems to be moving fine, meaning the lifter is riding on the cam still the way it should. A lot of times those tie bars, if that happened, will get tied up, I guess, and then it'll bend or break the tie bar, and then it's game on. So I think we got lucky. I think all it did was break the adjuster. Justin thinks this might have happened the first pass when I didn't have on the CO2 and the car was bouncing off the rev limiter. So another thing you guys might have noticed is the wing on the car. I'll flip the camera around and show you what we did. So I ordered up a wing, a strutless 15-inch wing from Motion Raceworks. Took it over to the boys at Line to Line Coating and had them powder coat it black. Came out sick. So we'll see. Hopefully this will help with how the parachute was coming off the car. Hopefully the car will be a little bit more stable up top, but real happy with doing it black. I debated on black or red, but I love the lines of this car. I did not want to put a wing on it, but I think it's a necessity at this point, so I did it black just to hopefully maintain the body lines of the car. I think it looks pretty good though. All right, here we are. A few days later, package came in from Summit. Actually, it looks from the billing that they came directly from AFR. The adjuster's a little bit different than the last one. The Allen key doesn't go all the way through, but they're the same thread, and everything else about them is exactly the same. So I think they're gonna work. So anyway, I changed oil. I just bought some cheap Valvoline 1040. Put that in it. We're gonna start it with that oil, and then I ran over to D&D Performance today. Grabbed another case of HPL oil. I really like this stuff. Highly recommend it. Not cheap. Yeah, so it's like 13 or 15 bucks a quart, but that's what I ran the car. That's what I ran in my last car. I never had issues with it, so gonna start it, get it hot, relash the valves. But like I said, I'm gonna swap out all of these, not just one. So I'm gonna get the remote starter button hooked up, and we'll get after it here. The remote button on here. What I'm gonna do is get this guy on there, crank it a little bit, make sure everything's cool, then I'm gonna go through and replace them all. Here we go. Alright, just got this all buttoned back up. I'm gonna tell it's like 10:30 at night, so I gotta start it for long in this neighborhood I live in, but just want to start it so I can hear it run for a second. And cross our fingers, I guess. About that smoke. I spilled a bunch of oil, idiot. But yeah, sounds good. All right, here we go. Next day, we're gonna start this thing up, let it idle for a while, get it nice and hot, get the heads hot, and get in there and lash the valves while they're hot. Make sure everything's cool, make sure I don't hear anything wild, and then lash these babies. Car seems fine. Beer run.
Box here. Push the box here.
Yeah, I'm too tight.
It's not even, well, I got the other one loose. Just a minute. I can't get this thing to pull.
There.
Got it? Yeah.
I feel like I'm locking trends.
Yeah, well, still got the Mustang logo here.
People look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah. What's going on here?
Go grocery shop.
You guys
Go grocery shop.
driveway? We can't. Those little kids are looking at us. Look at them. Getting the glasses. It's cute. Definitely rain coming. Takes off pretty good.
Alright guys, went for a quick ride. I gotta tell you, the valve train sounds way better. It was definitely making some noise driving around. Maybe I got used to it, I don't know. I have a feeling that that had been broke for a while. Maybe, like Justin said, maybe from the first pass at the track when I didn't have the CO2 on and it was bouncing off the rev limiter. So anyway, car sounds good. A little bit of a process. A few bucks between the oil and, you know, all the new adjusters, you know, about a $400 deal to get it back together, but seems good. We got a track rental coming up here in the next couple weeks, so hopefully we can work out the bugs with the car leaving and go out there and run a number that we're after. So if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace!